Well, you were talking. Well,
Okay.
good morning, everyone. So for those of you that are new, on Thursday mornings, we do what we call a business chat. And so we have a training topic for the day, and then for 30 minutes, and we open it up for a Q&A about anything you want to ask business related. So if you have any questions at all, we are here.
Yeah. So we're not going to do product questions. We're not going to talk about owies so much, or, how the patches work and go into that. And that's more of a Monday morning or a Sunday night or a Tuesday evening. But our subject for today is home meetings or patching parties. We're kind of making a shift into that vernacular, patching parties. I think it sounds better than a home party, a patching party, because that's what we do. We're in the patching business. So we're going to talk about the why and how of doing patching parties. We're going to share some exciting new tools that we have available for you to use. And we got some folks that are going to chime in that are committed to using patching parties to build and expand their business. So with that being said, I want to give a brief history of the whole party plan industry, if you will, or the party plan segment of the direct selling industry. The direct selling industry is broken into network marketing and party plan. And there's really a big overlap because most party plans have a network marketing compensation plan, and most party, anyway, so there's a big overlap, but we used to do that a lot in the industry in network marketing, and many companies, in fact, the largest part prior to the pandemic, the largest segment of sales in the direct selling industry was coming from the party plan segment. And all of a sudden we're in lockdown and you can't go to their house, they can't come to your house, and everybody's wearing face diapers. And, it's just, we had a couple of crazy years there. And we kind of got out of the groove of using our home to build our business. And the nice thing about homes is almost everybody has one. Probably most of the people on this call have one. And, and it's a friendly environment to bring people over to learn about. So, a number of people in LifeWave, in the Live Younger community, are starting to re-embrace, or for many of you might be the first time to embrace the idea of doing home meetings. There's probably many of you that have a background with a party plan company and are very used to it. So we're going to talk about some of the logistics of doing home meetings, some of the tools we have available. We're going to hear from some people that are, like I said, successfully launching them. And so I'm just going to jump in and take us over to Live Younger Success real quick, because I want to show you some of the tools that we have there. So if you go to Live Younger Success, you go into our library, scroll down to resources and documents.
Number 6.
And it's going to open. And hot links, number 6, all these are hot links. You can scroll down to it, or you can just click on number 6 and home meeting and events, documents, and videos. So we have quite a bit of information here, and I think we're going to get more because we're getting more people engaged in creating and doing successful patching parties that will be upgrading and adding things to this segment of the library. Just wanted to point this out to everyone. But the primary document I want to start with is the home meeting guidelines. And we strategically and specifically chose the word guidelines because in some regards, there's no right or wrong way. I mean, you could just shoot from the hip, invite people over, talk about LifeWave, talk about patches. There's probably some benefit in do a little planning and having a little structure. So, we talk about how to do an invitation. This hasn't been updated in a couple of years, so we'll probably be updating these guidelines, but they're pretty right on. This is actually pretty generic in the party plan segment of the direct selling industry, okay? So preparation, what you need to do, what you need to have, room set up, and how to do the presentation, how to end the meeting and after the meeting. So if any of you are interested in doing beginning to do some patching parties at your home or at one of your new members' homes. A great way to help a new member of your team to launch their business is encourage them to have a patching party. And whether you're local or long distance, if you're long distance, you can walk them through this and you can zoom in. If you're local, it's the old adage, your prospects, my presentation. You, the enroller or the upline of, of the enroller and the new team member would go to the home and kind of be the expert. Then you're the expert because they don't know you. And so it works really, really well. So this is kind of a valuable guideline to get you started. So I'm going to go back to the library here. There's some other things here. These are older video clips, okay, from the old LifeWave PowerPoint that we're not allowed to say activate stem cells so boldly. We can still say it, but not so boldly as we used to say it. There's a sign-in sheet, there's name tags, lead capture. This article here that Robin wrote with Christine Miner, one of our local team members, is a great handout, activate your stem cells, and it's got a place for you to put your information at the bottom. April, look at that. It's 4 years old. Wow.
I think 5.
5 years old. Wow. So we've been at this a while. Okay. So some things just continue lasting.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about the lead capture.
So when you have someone new, anyone who's coming, it's really good to gather their information and have this and know what's important to them
Mhm.
so that you could be addressing what they want. And then when you follow up with them, you'll have the information about what they're interested in. So, and make sure it has increased muscle and bone density because that's the X49. Okay.
Yeah. Now, some people will end up enrolling at the end of the event, and some people are batting 100. Darlene, I don't know if she's on, but she's been doing these for several years, and everyone that comes signs up. If they're not ready to sign up, this would be a good thing for them to fill out. And this way, when you follow up with them, you know what interests them and what's the best time to contact them, morning, afternoon, evening, etc. So these are just good, valuable tools. So I invite you to peruse and become familiar with the things that are here. Now, this enrollment application, you probably want, not probably, you're absolutely going to want to have these printed out because this you can enroll someone as a retail customer, preferred customer, PC Plus, or brand partner. They just check the box. You get all their vital information. And typically, the way home meetings work is people fill out and place their orders on paper. And after everybody goes home, then you get to enter the orders on your computer. I don't recommend you trying, if you have more than 1 or 2 people, I don't recommend you try entering your orders with a computer. If you only have one person, whip out your computer and take their order, right? But if you have a small group or a large group, you can do that. When we do big meetings, we many times will hand out an order form, at break time so everybody can place their order. So that's a really good tool. And there's, welcome letters. There's a lot of great things in here.
We should probably put in here is the getting started options.
Yeah.
Have it in here too.
Yeah.
Because that's a good thing to have at an event.
Okay. So, so that's what we have available in Live Younger Success. I want to now show you some new tools we have, and I'm going to.
Gregory, I
Gregory,
just
you're
muted
muted.
you by accident. Sorry.
Okay. So
I was
now-
admitting someone and it hit you instead because it
Okay.
flipped.
Okay. So that's section 6 in Live Younger Success. Now I'm very excited to share with you, where is it? I thought I had it up, but I opened so many other things. Live Younger Success. Oh, I want to show you a new tool that's now available. If you go to liveyoungerreplay.com, okay, which is right here. See if I can get it open.
There it is.
There it is. So this is now a shareable link that you could use. You could maybe, if you wanted to, this is another video option, because many times at home meetings, people will show one of the company videos, or, I know maybe any one of a number of videos, and this is now available for you. This is the one that I did a few weeks ago, and I think Robin, I think you were in here. Oh, no, it was Tom and Dr. and Ann were in here in this one. So this is a great one. And you could see the first part of it before the doctors come in is 15 minutes. So there's a 15-minute segment that includes that 2 minute.
Now run again. Woohoo!
Okay. So that's a new tool, liveyoungerreplay.com. The other new tool we wanted to share with you, we're very excited about, is we've relaunched liveyoungertools.com with a whole cadre of new compliant marketing materials. We've been making the slow transition to take stem cell activation out of our promotional materials. That doesn't restrict us from saying it in personal private conversation or in small meetings, but for public marketing, we're keeping stem cell activation out. And so there's a whole list of wonderful things. There's business cards, there's square cards. I was looking into square cards today. I think I'm going to order some of the square cards. I think they're very cool. They have a place for a QR code that can take them to your preferred website. And the woman that has built this for us, or does the printing, Liz has really built this system for us. She will do, you can personalize it with your own QR code. I'm just going to brief through this, Liz, real quick. And then when I get to the order form, I'm going to turn it over to you. So there's 2 steps here. There's review the materials here, 2 segments. Section 1 is the cards. There's the back of the business card options. There's mini bundles of these 5x7 cards that I think Valerie's going to talk about how she uses them in her home meetings. There's sharing envelopes. And, if you want to send somebody home with some samples, this envelope pretty much tells the LifeWave story, and front and back, and you can put some patches in there. There's stickers, there's rack cards, there's a lot, there's big, small and large retractable banners. And I'm almost down to the bottom. There's posters. Don't be overwhelmed, and just zero in. There might be a few things in here that you're going to find helpful for handouts and for marketing, because I know more and more people are doing wellness fairs and trade shows and, flea markets, whatever you're doing. Beautiful tablecloths, vinyl banners, and trifold brochures. How about that, with X39 and X49 available? Even a car magnet and a self-healing light book, which is amazing, totally off the charts,
Non-compliant.
totally non-compliant, but it's available. I'd get one while they're still available.
If you have a practitioner
Okay.
in your business, they're not simple
Yeah, not simple.
protocols, but they're great for a practitioner, and they are non-compliant because they do mention disease states. So just know that up front.
So Liz, I'd like to turn this next section over to you so you can explain how people can go to Live Younger Tools, select what they want, and then, place their order.
Okay, well, great, thanks. As you can see, there's an example on the left that, excuse me, my other left, my right, that there's a little tiny box to the left side of each picture and image, and you need to put a check mark in it if that's what you're interested in purchasing. So Gregory, slide it down just a bit, and you can see Gregory has his mouse on top of the box there. You just click it, and if you decide you don't want it, then all you do is untoggle it. So it's a toggle on, toggle off. Now, the layout of this is the exact order as what you saw above. Okay. The above is just image sections. But here, let's say that you wanted to look closer at the patch. If you click on it, it brings up what the image actually looks like. So you can zoom in and see what information's on there. Okay. You can see if there's a front side and a back side. If there's images along with it, you can see, or there's arrows there that you can use left to right. Okay. Either way. Okay. So close that out. And then now the next biggest benefit is go up to the top right there where it says all categories.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you know the category that you want to look at, because each category is above and a banner. Okay. Let's say that you wanted to look at the rack postcards. Well, put a check mark by the rack postcards to the left right there. Okay, now you see just the rack postcards. Again, you want to see what that says because it's kind of small. Nope, click on the image and you can actually blow it up bigger and see what it actually says. Okay, if you're on your phone, it also looks really great and you can see the images there. But I would suggest for ordering purposes, you do it on a computer. Okay, close that down. And then down at the very bottom, you can leave it there, Gregory, because now it's just asking for all your personal information, your name, your LifeWave website, your address, your email. Slide it down a bit because the text chat popped up, your phone number. And then there's any special instructions. So if you have a QR code that you have yourself already, you can put in there that please use my QR code, and the lady that is going to make these for you, she'll contact you. Her name is Sally. Okay. And so she'll contact you and then you can email back and forth and send her your QR code or whatever else instructions you may have there. Okay. So that's pretty much it. And then you click the submit button. And
so one thing before you,
yep.
if you don't put it, you have your choice. If you're ordering something that has a QR code, you can give her your QR code if you already have one, or you can give her the URL you want her to create a UR code for you to point to. If you don't give specifics and there's a QR code, she's going to direct it to your lifewave.com username website. Some people want that, some people don't. So it's your call if you're ordering one of these products. Again, I'm going to go up here. I love this new addition, Liz. This, if you're ordering the square cards like this, and not everybody will be able to get Connie's picture on their card. I'm sorry to say, you can have your own picture there. Okay, your own phone number, and your QR code going to where you want to go. It could go to a pre-populated cart. Okay, so it can go virtually anywhere. So, then just as I filled it out here, for example, live younger with Gregory.com, that doesn't exist, but if it did, I could put that there and they'd go to my personal liveyounger.com.
Gregory, I think that on this, I can add in the ability to give individuals the ability to upload their own picture or even their own QR code, because a QR code is a picture. It would be a picture. So I think that I can do that on this system.
That'd be a great addition, because obviously if you're picking something with your picture, she, the lady Sally that runs this business, by the way, she's been creating tools for network marketing for 20 years. And so she knows the game she's in, and she's worked diligently to redo everything to bring it into alignment with our new policies and procedures and advertising guidelines. So, wow, that was anything else, Liz, you wanted to ask about, share about this?
No, but while the next segment's talking, I'm going to go into this system and see if I can add in that, because it won't be difficult if I could do it. And so at the end of the call, I could say I've got it up or I don't have it up yet.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Gregory, it's Helen.
Yeah, Helen.
Oh, Michelle's asking, which site is the best one to send them to with the QR code?
Tell Helen to ask her sponsor. That'd be you. It's up to
You're
you.
hilarious. Well,
Oh,
anyways, I know it's up to you, but do you have a recommendation?
no.
No? Okay. Well, anyways, kudos to everybody who did this. Yay, clap, clap from all of us.
So great. So now we're going to shift and talk to some folks that are doing it. Okay. And they kind of, stars and stripes. So Valerie and Paul, did you want to chime in? I don't know if Connie's on with us. I think she's behind the chair this morning. Is that right? She's right there.
She's here.
Why don't we start out with you, Connie? There you are. And I'll pass it over to you and Connie and Paul to share what you're doing, how you're using some of these tools and doing your patching parties.
Yeah, these tools are brilliant, and they work as Valerie's going to share with you, and I'm going to let Valerie take the lead on this because she really is kind of masterminding this whole thing. When whether you're talking to someone in person, whether you're doing a patch party, whether you're sending a sample in the mail, it doesn't really matter. These tools can be used for everything. So it's really important. And thank you, Liz. Boy, do I love the fact that we can go in now and we can look at just what we want to see. It doesn't overwhelm people. They just want the business cards. They just want the product cards, whatever it is, they can go right to it. Liz, that was fantastic. So Valerie and Paul, Valerie, actually, I know you're on to share with us. Why don't you share a little bit about not only how you're using it and what your experience has been in patching parties, but how you're moving event to event and keeping it consistent leading up to when Barry and I will come in for a bigger event.
Wonderful. So good morning, everybody. Awesome day. Thank you. Same sentiment that everybody's sharing. Thank you so much for these tools. When the new tools showed up, I was like a kid in a candy store. There was things I really wanted that I got, and I am so happy. One of the things that I've been working on, and I've been hearing this from leadership, and it's finally starting to settle in and become a part of my practice. If I'm talking, use a tool, point to a tool. And now I'm layering that into everything I'm doing and trying to be as consistent as I can, whether it's in person, the belly to belly, on the mail, or if I'm at a home party, whatever I'm doing, I'm using the same tools, same script, and always pointing to a tool. So this is how we're doing a home party, and we're still shaping this up. And I just actually got some good ideas here today. Thank you, Gregory. Oh my gosh, I love you and all the awesome things you put together. One of my favorite words that I've gotten from Gregory is lumpuckaroo. I love that. So this is how we start out. And I'm going to use my cards because it'd probably be easier than getting you to try to pull things up. So I'm going to use these. So whether I am belly to belly, mail, or home party, but I'm going to focus on the home party. I've got a lot of my tools laminated, nice full-size laminates here. And I have multiples of these because I keep them in my business bag. I keep them at home and I keep them at my office. And then I have a couple extras just in case. And now when I'm having home parties, I scatter these onto the table so people can see them. And then as we're working through those, which I'll share in a minute, I'll hand them, I'll get them into a person's hand. So the first thing we do at our home party is, and I'm going to make a change here because I've just figured out how to use two different tools. I was thinking, should we do the gift of good health, or should we do the intro where we're getting their name and some of their issues? I'm going to do both because I want to send them home with the gift of good health, and I want to keep their other information. Then, so I'm going to do another little housekeeping there. So the intro that Gregory just showed us under number 6, where they're filling out their name, all their information, and there's whatever issues, their ailments that they might be having. We're going to keep that piece. There's going to be a gift of good health. And on that gift of good health will be probably paper clipped or maybe even have a little basket out that somebody can grab an X39 if they're new, because it's a patching party. You got to patch people if you're going to have a patch party, right? So I give them an X39, and then I'm going to instruct them when to put that on, because I want them to put it on sooner than later, because some of their little lumpuckaroos might get some relief during the 30-minute presentation we're about to do. Okay.
Nice.
So gift of good health, that's going to happen early on.
And
Paul,
just clarification for some, Gift of Good Health is a tracker,
health tracker.
health tracker.
And I've been emphasizing this a lot, and I've gone back to this discipline. I got away from it and my business started to go down a little bit. I've gotten back to it. I use the gift of good health as a part of my every month. It's part of my retention. If I use that, people stay longer because I'm engaged with them every month. And I use that as my model of follow-up. My first month, I'm talking to them at least once a week. I've also added on there to please take your picture. And the reason we wanted to take our picture is Mandy. And I pull out Mandy and I let them know, this is why we take our picture. Because you might not notice what you look like a year later, 2 years later, if you didn't do what Mandy did. So I like to be pointing to tools and encourage them every time I talk to them. Did you take your picture this month? So lovely. Here we go. Paul's done an introduction. He welcomes everybody in. He gives a sweet little intro. And then we move into, and we just kind of made this change too. We're going to liveyounger.com. And when Paul's giving an intro, I've got the patent up behind him. So I've just scrolled down through and I put this up on our television so everyone can see it. He's doing an intro. The patent's going to be behind him, and then he'll point and speak to that a little bit. But then we're going to move into the 3-minute video.
Mhm.
What is photobiomodulation? What is that little patch in your hand? They're going to get a 3-minute video. After that, that's when we're going to have them stick their patch on. And then we watch a 20-minute video that was created by David for home parties. So then we move into that. Once that is done, here's where all the tools come in. And I love these tools because it's just this beautiful scripting. And since I've started employing this, I talk a lot less. My conversions happen much faster. I used to spend hours with people, and now it could literally be minutes. And oh my gosh, love these. So the very first thing I do after the video is I begin using the same question that I'm going to use throughout the rest of the presentation and the rest of our time together is, what questions do you have for me? Because they may not have any, right? But if I ask them, do you have questions? I'm going to give them pause and they're going to go, oh, I should have had a question. I thought all my questions were being answered. I'm flowing with this, but I'm going to give them pause just with that weird languaging, right? So a good question is, what questions do you have for me? What questions do you have for me before we get you started? And those are just simple things I'm going to ask throughout. So David's just given a nice presentation about the patch. The next thing that's going to come up on my TV is that envelope. The power of the patch. I highly recommend you go in and get very familiar with all of your tools here. I have these scattered on my table, but it's up on my big screen. And I have somebody read it. And then I hand this to somebody and I have them read it out loud. And then when we go into this abstract, which Paul was just talking about, either Paul's talked about that or we're going to go back to it. This is answering so many questions for people. I don't have to say a word. You're going to wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. What I do here that's a little bit different is this suggests that some people will have an experience, and this is in some of the awesome literature on Live Younger Success. Some may have an experience quickly, some may not. We just don't know. And sometimes if it's appropriate, I might share my story, because one of the things that it says on here, let's give it a month for every decade old we are. That is great, great advice. But I share with people, I would have missed out. I would have missed out if I would have stopped after 5 months. And I've had some pretty profound experiences. And I really try to share with people the difference between a feeling and an experience. I don't feel anything from this patch. But what I'm experiencing is profound. I've avoided 3 surgeries. I still have my thyroid and I don't have angry cells. Is it reasonable to say for every decade we are, can we give it 2 to 3 months? And everyone's shaking their head. Yes, great. I've just set a beautiful expectation. Got to give this a year. And we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. So once we talk about this one, this mentions GHKCU. Somebody will ask a question. Doesn't matter what the question is. Great question. Next thing that comes up, GHKCU. I may hand this to somebody because if one of these topics come up, I'm going to have them read it. Or if something's come up here, this is just more reiteration on this, I might have somebody read that one too. Then somebody's going to ask about their lumpuckaroo. Great question. Next thing that comes up for me is what to expect. And I do this whether I'm face-to-face, belly-to-belly, one-on-one, I'm handing them these papers and I'm making them read this to me. And then I'm going to help them follow this timeline. So I do let everybody read this. We read it out loud because we want to get to here. Don't blow it and stop up here. Look at all the things you're going to miss out on. And I can't tell you how excited I was that we got brain balancing and heart age. Oh my gosh, thrilled with this. And every time, what questions do you have for me? What questions do you have for me? So again, what questions do you have before we get you started? This pops up on the screen next. This is just behind while I'm starting to wrap up, and it begins to show, oh, I'm going to get a kit. I'm going to get a little package, right? And then there's some ideas here. Doesn't mean that this is what I'm going to let them order. This is going to be a conversation piece. I have a package that I lay out. I lay out a 90-day plan for everybody that includes the X technology and Eon. And I explain what Eon is. And sometimes we just read it from here. I have somebody read Eon. It deals with inflammation and it eats your stem cells. Great. So we want to add that, right? Right. Yes, absolutely. Then if I happen to have an athlete in the room, just side note, this is sitting right in front of them. So they don't think that this is just for people with lumpuckaroos. This is for everybody. So all along the way, what questions do you have? What questions do you have? And then everybody has, there's going to be your order form. And if somebody is bringing a guest, they're going to grab that order form and put their name on it. Up at the top right, which Gregory just showed us, there's a place for sponsor. There's a place to put your sponsor. I have at least 10 of these on every clipboard I have. I have these just everywhere. You always want to have these and always want to have a lot of writing utensils. Don't have to be looking around for pens, right? And so that person's going to fill that out right there. I encourage people right now, if you're bringing guests, please bring patches. At some point, I hope to be able to provide all your patches, but that's not happened yet. But until then, let's all help each other and don't rely on just one person to do that. Please try to bring your patches so that you can patch a person, because you should know a little bit about them when you're inviting them, but you may not. So I'm going to give you a wonderful success story. We had a patch party and I had one person that invited somebody she just signed up as a customer because she wasn't quite familiar with all of the different things. So she comes in, she hears it. Then the following week, and we were talking about, you asked me to mention this, we're doing from one event to another. We're doing 2 patch parties a week because I forgot I get balloons on my peace out. Connie's coming in a few weeks, so we are doing twice a week in preparation for that. So we have a meeting on on Thursdays and on Sundays. A woman showed up on Thursday, and on Sunday she brought 3 people with her, and she converted from a customer to a brand partner. And those ladies can't wait to come back on Sunday. I can't make it on Thursday, but I'll be here on Sunday, and it's becoming this sweet little community. The challenge for us is we planned our Sunday right before our Sunday call, and people just want to stay and they want to, keep on doing what people want to do. They want to patch, they want to talk about all their stuff. So it's been very, very successful, very useful. Thank you for the tools. They are very beneficial and they are changing how I do business.
Valerie, you are so spectacular. She has really, really honed this, and she's got such a great way of doing things. There's a couple things you said that I want to add on to. Gregory talked about and Valerie talked about the lead capture sheet, and that if they didn't sign up, you want to have this for your follow-up. I say what Valerie says, which is you keep everybody's lead capture, because guess what? Now you can use that when you're following up after they did enroll to remember what it was they wanted. You're tying it to their why. So those lead capture sheets are super, super important. I don't care if you're doing a booth, a one-on-one, meeting somebody in person. Heck, you're meeting somebody in person, you're giving them all this info. Say, hey, fill this out for me real quick. I really want to make sure you get what you want. So those lead capture sheets are perfect. The other thing you talked about, which has been great for me too, is because you've worked this into a system of always constantly pointing to a tool, you've created the fact that people know they can do it too. I just got a point, right? And you've also, for you and I, less talking. My husband has said from the day I got into network marketing, Connie, you can't go have 2-hour lunches with everybody. You can't spend talking an hour, 2 hours to people. They all think they have to do that and nobody wants to. So it allows us to do that very quickly. And I was behind the chair with someone I have known since she was a young girl. She's been introduced to everything I've ever done. She was one of the original people who had stem cell when they were only giving it to 30-something-year-olds. They wouldn't even do stem cell injections if you were over 32 or 33 back in the beginning. And she had great results from it. And she's now in her early 40s and decided to go out and with her son was pressured into playing kickball. Well, she injured herself. Her knees blown up. She was in pain and I patched her. But as she asked me questions, I didn't have time to talk. I was on to my next client. I handed her all the tools, a few tools Valerie talked about. I patched her up and she said, well, how long do I leave it on? I go, right there, read that right there. Well, what do I do with this? Read that right there. And I just kept pointing to the tools. I handed her everything. I sent her a video from the InTouch app. So she had a little more understanding. When I saw she had watched that, I sent her another one. When as I'm continuing, this was just 2 days ago. So now I'm continuing my follow-up of giving her information until I can get to the weekend when I know she's available to talk. So those tools, whether you're in person, mailing, home parties, it just doesn't matter. And you will start to learn that you're talking less, which is going to make you better at your business and it's going to make you duplicate. Somebody also asked about the X39, X49 presentation she was talking about. That is in Live Younger YouTube. And it is the David presentation that he made last year when Robin and Gregory and I and the Evolve team were doing events. And it says David Schmidt, X39, X49 presentation, and it's about 19-20 minutes long. So that is the video she was talking about. And now our fearless leaders have their hands up. So I guess I'll give it back to them. You're muted, Gregory.
No, I don't want to take it back. You're not done, but I just I wanted to acknowledge Darren Hardy because a number of years ago, about 10 years ago, Rob and I went to a Success University and Darren Hardy was hosting. And he said, if you're talking,
No, they had it, the CDs available. I brought home the CD. It was called Making the Shift. I listened to that. It's an audio. It's 90 minutes. And when I started in this business, I had no training or support. I did everything wrong. I fell into every landmine that he talks about. And when I listened to that, I bought hundreds of them. And now you can get it free on YouTube. And it's also available in Live Younger Success under the Getting Started tab under Network Marketing Videos. And Darren Hardy is the one who says, if you're talking, you're pointing to a tool.
100%. And far as presentations too, now that Gregory and Robin and Liz have made the liveyoungerreplay.com, the presentation, that's something else you can use. If you want to use that 30-minute presentation as your presentation, when you do this, people understand I can do this too. I just got to push play. I just got to hand them a few things and have them read it. And Valerie having the audience read them. If she stands up there and reads this to them, they're not listening. Their mind's off on the fact that they forgot to lock the door and what are they going to have for breakfast and everything else. If she makes them read it, they're engaged. And that's why when we're doing a one-on-one, or even if we're calling people back after we've sent them a gift in the mail, when they get their tools out, they read it to us. Because by them reading it, they have to think about it, be engaged, and listen to themselves. You're also getting participation, right? You're having different people in the audience do this, which means they're paying attention. They're involved. They're not just sitting back watching. So Valerie, every single thing you said is priceless. I'm super excited, and I'm seeing a difference in your team already in the growth and the duplication that's happening. So Robin and Gregory, back to you.
Yeah, one more quick question. In Live Younger YouTube, is it this first David video or?
That's the vision.
That's the
2020.
vision. Which David video is it?
It says, David, it says X39, X49 presentation, but it is in the list of
Right
David
there.
videos. Did you
Okay.
find it?
Special events over to your right. Second, it's next to the Scottsdale. Go up one, right there.
Okay, special events. There it is.
So
Okay.
one of the things that I love about this, I let David Schmidt introduce X49. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
but then that gives me the opportunity to introduce Eon. There I am. Eon to them at the end, because when I'm laying out a 90-day look for them, then that's all makes sense for them. One other thing I want to reiterate, if somebody asks a question, which is inevitable, they'll ask a question that you've already covered 2-3 times because it hasn't settled yet. We're introducing them to a new technology they don't know about. As soon as they say, so how long do I wear it? This comes back up and I just point and I have them read it again.
And I'm
I
going
don't
to
even tell them the answer. I tell them, hand them my tool.
since this is such a great video, Liz, maybe we could move this one up to the top here, next to these special interviews, so it'd be easy for everyone to.
I can do that, but can I raise that one more level?
Yeah.
Let's make a website that is just for patching parties and have the videos right there so that they can just play them one right after the other on a specific web page.
I think pretty soon we could do that, and maybe we'd have some of these images that you are, using so well, Valerie and Paul, maybe over the next couple of weeks, we can put that together so people.
Yes.
You're proving it, and we want to duplicate the wheel here, not
Along with-
recreate.
Along with the replay of this call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah.
too, if you look at that, so David's video was made by him. Technically, it would no longer be compliant. But again, you're doing this in the privacy of your own home. You're doing this, you're not putting it on social media. Please, please, please don't share this video on social media. If it, this is private one-on-one. And there's also David shows pictures. He shows before and after pictures. So just like Gregory's presentation, you get some great before and afters. By the time David's done, you can practically pass out the applications.
That's right. Michelle, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thanks, Valerie. Thanks, Connie. I am on liveyoungertools.com and I love what you said, Valerie, about you passing these out, whether you're belly to belly or, and I can't remember what you said, but I have a lot of people that I'm not belly to belly with, and I'm like in other states, and I'm on Live Younger Tools right now, and I am trying to click on the what to expect, and it's not opening up for me, number one. The other ones do, so I can actually look at them closer. The what to expect is not, nothing's happening. And the other, so that's one point, but I'm wondering, is there a way to download this so I can send it to people in other states as an email attachment?
No, because of the fact that would be, Sally spent a lot of time and she does this for a living. And so that's not an option to do. You'd have to order them.
Okay, I bet a lot of other people on this call have the same question. because I have a lot of people in other states.
Well, you
So
can mail them, Michelle. That's part of that's part of what we do on our team is we send out a gift. You talk to somebody, they watch a video, they say they're interested. It's been the whole gifting model that Robin and Gregory have done forever. Would you like a sample? Would you like a gift? And you put these parts and pieces into an envelope and you send it to them. And then you put on your calendar a time to follow up where they're going to go get their envelope, open it up, and you're going to go through the parts and pieces with them, just like you were in person with them.
thank you so much. So do these come as a sheet of paper? I noticed, Valerie, you had them laminated. Did you do that, or do they come laminated?
I had mine and I blew them up to laminate for two reasons. One, so I could read it better. What they're going to get, and I'm super excited about this too, they've enlarged the cards. What they're going to get, if you look at what Gregory's showing you right now, or Liz is probably showing you this right now, these are 5x7, so they're slightly larger and easier for your people to read. But you'll get a gifting envelope. I just happen to have my old ones here. You have a gifting envelope. You've got for postcards, your postcards go into your gifting envelope. You then want to get another envelope to put these envelopes in. You mail them. I recommend getting a nice bright envelope so you can let them know, hey, be on the lookout. I'm sending you a bright yellow envelope. So that way you're starting to create the anticipation. And while you're waiting for that gift, let me send you the gift of good health. So you're always getting one more thing to them and you don't want to wait. Does that make sense?
Yes, beautiful. Thank you.
And then you can send your patches in a little, a little envelope and just send 1 to 3 days worth of patches. I never send more than 3. I worked with this a lot in the beginning, trial and error, 1 patch, 2 patch, 3 patches, 5, 7, 10, 30. And I will tell you the best conversion is 1 to 3 days worth of patches. If you go longer than that, they expect a miracle. And if they don't get their miracle, they think they don't work.
And
Yeah.
managing expectations is really important. And this is what has been so brilliant from Ron Rabin. He says, you probably won't notice anything, but let's talk tomorrow and I'll help you set up a 30-day risk-free trial. And so they may or may not, we know that most people will notice something, and that's why that health tracker is so valuable, because they may want one thing, but something else happens that they didn't even think about. Like, whoa, my mobility was better. My God, I stayed up all night to clean my garage. I had energy, or, whatever it may be. So setting expectations is really important.
I absolutely agree, Robin. One of the things I want to point out on these tools, these are all mini presentations, whether you're doing it in your home and you're using a larger screen for it or you're one-on-one, this has brilliant scripting on it. And I literally hand it to them and have them read it to me.
That's beautiful.
And it addresses most of their questions they didn't even know they had, but it just leads them down the path without me getting involved too much.
Julianne, you have a question?
I do. Valerie, thank you so much for this. This is very valuable. I do a lot of events in my area. However, some of the people live maybe 60 miles from where I live. Do you host events other places? Do you do it online ever? Over Zoom or things like that?
I would love to. I have another business, and so that keeps me pretty busy. And so we're doing our home, and we have a lovely home. And when we bought our home, we did it intentionally for gatherings. And so this is just working out perfect. Once Connie comes, I think we might continue we'll do at least weekly, but we may even continue with bi-weekly for people. If I was doing a presentation anywhere else, I'd use the same tools. I would do the exact same thing. That if I was working a booth, I'd be handing them this, then I'd hand them this, and then I'd just go through my stuff, or I'd have it set up so that they could read it. Because the less I'm talking and the more I'm using a tool, the easier they could walk away and go, all she did was read to me. All she did was make me read. Yep.
And I
one
know
more-
that several people do travel, and I know Helen and Michelle have traveled. So that's really your choice if you want to do that. And again, when someone is just getting their business started, inviting them to do a business launch event and have a patch party and you show up, and help them launch their business, have them
Mhm.
invite their friends. When they invite their friends saying, I'm launching a business I'm really excited about. I don't expect you to buy anything. I'd just love your support to be there. They'll probably want to get it, but it really is a wonderful way to get people off to a great start.
And before we go to you, Beth, I would just want to add a little bit more strategy here for you. And in another company, we hired some outside professionals to come in and help us design a home meeting program. And it was the founder and director of the World Health,
And direct selling.
the Direct Selling World Alliance. And a couple of keys we learned from the structured party plan program is you never end one meeting without scheduling the next. Does that sound familiar? So when people come to your Thursday meeting, you should know when and where the next meeting is. And Valerie, you're doing them all at your house, but we
Someone
might,
else might want to host.
you might do one at our house. The next one's going to be at Carolee's house. And after that, it's going to be somewhere else. But there's always the next one's already pre-planned. So everybody comes to this meeting, knows where to go and bring their guests to the next one. That is so important. And it's just a fun way to build community too.
And planting the seed of who else do you know that would benefit from being here?
Mhm.
Just really get them planting the seed and having them think about it, because then they're going to invite those people.
And the other thing you could do at the end of your meeting, would anyone here like to have a meeting like this in your home?
Yeah.
And that's standard operating procedure in most party plan, businesses. You're looking for hosts. You might get 2 or 3 people say, I would, yeah, I would too, I would 3. Well, that's 3 different circles of influence you get to contact and work out with, Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Beth.
This is just excellent. I am so excited. Valerie, you are so inspiring. Well, all of this is amazing. I missed, what is the gift of good health? What is that? And the other thing that just came to mind when you were mentioning this last thing, what do you think about the incentive? Because we don't have a hostess gift necessarily. If you do, if you host a gift, what if they go under you as a preferred customer plus? Or if you sign up as a silver, they can be on your team. What do you think of that?
I think you could play with anything like that. And it sounds like you have background in party plan. So you may
Yes.
develop a strategy to do that and experiment. And if it works, let us know.
Okay. But
And-
what is the gift of good health? What was that?
The health tracker.
Okay.
And we're going to ask Liz to put that in number 6, so it's readily available for everyone.
Okay.
Valerie shared about how valuable that is in her follow-up and retention. And it's something that we talk about all the time, that no matter what, if they're a customer or brand partner, we want them to get a baseline and use that health tracker. And it's
It's already in there. It's
Yeah.
already in there. It's been in there.
okay,
I
great.
use it all the time. It's one of my, I just hadn't heard that referral to it. I really like that. So thank you. I am trying to do more of this online. Is anybody doing it with these tools online?
I know Marcy's group is doing online patching parties. I have not been to one, so I don't know. Connie, do you know anything about their success with that?
Connie had to leave to go to
She had to
work.
go to work.
I will mention that, again, going back to pre and post pandemic, when the pandemic hit, the whole party plan industry had to convert from home based to Zoom based. So yes, a lot of people are building their networking businesses online. We haven't necessarily promoted it, but it's a natural evolution as more and more of you, and that's the reason for this call, where there's a nudge for all of us, all of you, to start doing, patching parties. And once you're comfortable doing it, you're going to end up doing them some online. And at some point, we'll do a training on that once we get it
Okay.
perfect.
And it's Marcy who?
Marcy Preble.
Marcy Preble, she's the
Preble.
head of the Evolve group.
Okay, I will look for her then.
Okay.
Thank you.
So can I jump in real quick, Gregory? This
Please.
might really help shorten your learning curve, that you don't necessarily need to go out and go dive into all that. All of the tools, because you have liveyounger.com, we have that section where we have a video there, then we pull up Live Younger tools. You can literally pull that up if you're doing an online party, if you're doing a Zoom, and have them read the envelope. Ask somebody to read the envelope, and every time just use your tools, or you might be able to save those somehow so you could just click on them. But using that tool to get that in front of their face, and you use the same thing and you adapt it to everything you're doing. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
And I will say that if you find the targeted tools that, as you have found, Valerie, if you buy them, they're going to blow up better. The
Yep.
ones online, there's not nearly as detailed. So you blow those up, they're going to be fuzzy. But you blow up the printed ones you get, and they're going to be crystal clear.
And
Yeah.
Sally's made a great price. For $85, you get 50 of every one of those. Then you get, I think for $55, you get 50 of the envelopes. You've got everything you need.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, Helen, you've got your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was just sitting here looking at everybody like, Valerie, oh, I met Valerie in Tulum. Right. Oh, I met so-and-so in Aruba. But I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody, because these are perfect tools to help us get to Punta Cana, right? So I wanted to say thank you. This will just help all of us to earn more points as we get more 1 point for every preferred customer we enroll and people we bring in. So deeply appreciative and very excited.
Great. Thank you, Helen, for that, because if you have a group, you're leveraging your time. One-on-one, it takes an hour of your time. If you've got 10 people there, oh my goodness. And we're talking about leverage, and you can get a whole bunch of people signed up. Valerie, how long from start to finish is your event?
Well, we're aiming for an hour. I don't know what's so magic about an hour, but we're aiming for an hour. However, the post, so everybody's been patched for at least 30 minutes. A lot of people's ailments have disappeared. They get to testify to that, which is amazing. I'm always blown away by one patch wonders. But then there's the opportunity to either do some quick, I try to teach everybody to do a 1-minute testimonial from all of the brand partners that are already there. If they've had an experience, that they'll quickly share that. And then asking, is anybody else in pain? And then might do the ice wave. What we're discovering is people so are hungry, they're starved for community. Nobody wants to leave. So it's still turning into 2 to 3 hours, which is okay, but we are trying to shore that up and make it a little bit tighter. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to suggest everybody unmute and give Valerie a big hand. Thank you so much.
Way to go, Valerie. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Awesome job.
Valerie.
Thank you, Valerie.
enjoyed
Way to
it.
go.
Thank you so
Synergy. Thank you, Valerie.
Valerie.
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Awesome.
This
Thank
is
you.
wonderful.
Yay on Robin and Gregory.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Valerie's AV guy just showed up.
He would like to have some credit.
Yeah, that's right.
But big kudos to our leadership, to Robin and Gregory and Connie for coming up with these tools. Oh my, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've made my life easier.
That's our goal. That's our job.
Awesome.
Okay, good night. Good night. Good
Yes,
day,
sir.
everyone. And I
Synergy.
stand corrected. Tomorrow is May 31st. There is another day in May.
There is.
All right. Bye,
I
everyone.
look forward to
Good
looking at
X39 day.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Greg.
Valerie.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Great
Can't
job.
wait to watch this one again.
Yeah.
We'll get it up on the replay real quick now.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have a blessed day, everybody.